Out of all my Transformer reviews, they have all been on bots with personalities, unique powers, skill sets, and more. Even Stockade, if you read the back of his box or read the comics. Well, all except for my first video. The subject of that review was on first edition Vehicon. A maybe not sparkless mass-produced drone to fill out the ranks of the Decepticon army, made for the sole purpose of getting mercilessly killed off by friend or foe. It's a bit of a shame as they do have a great design. Obviously, because of the numerous on-screen deaths they faced, the designers couldn't give them any distinct facial features and opted for the mouthless visor look, like Soundwave. I also think there's a bit of a design influence from Gas Mask, due to this bit that's jutting out right here, looking like, well, that one design aspect of a gas mask. It really drives home that creepy, soulless vibe. And the design as a whole is great. Spiky, but not over the top. Lanky, without looking skinny, with enough creepy aspects like the long, slender fingers, which he only has 3 of them, now that I'm realizing it, and a unique looking head that don't feel out of place. And he even has light piping, right over there. High heel feet are an interesting design choice, but it somehow fits, so it's fine. Of course, he does have issues, namely the back cable. It's compact, don't get me wrong. It's just that it does look a bit cluttered, and the bonnet is also sort of spilling out from the sides right here, which might be a bit unsightly, and well, that is a minor complaint compared to articulation, as well, this is the amount of backward leg movement you can get, as this is in the way. So there is that. Everything else on it is standard. You got a ball jointed head that might be a bit difficult to actually grasp onto due to his very tall shoulders and this in the back of the car. And we got rotations at the arm. They can go up this much due to the back of the car. Again, we got an elbow bend, but not much rotation as that joint actually doesn't exist at all, which is a shame. But it did come out like 2012 and stuff like that, and well, articulation wasn't the highest priority. There is a waist swivel though, so there is that. And just to finish up the legs, we got forward, not by much, thigh, and a knee bend with a lot of split action, from being honest. All in all, it is what you'd expect from a 2010 toy, because those things didn't have much of a focus on articulation. Well, I'm just gonna mention the gun here because, well, it's alright. I like the detailing, but it doesn't look like a gun that's meant to be held, because it isn't. It's supposed to transform out of the hand. But, well, since you can't, all you have to do is, well, fold this window up here, fold back the hands, and just plug it in. And there you go. It's actually really nice, and this build here, which is supposed to be part of the wheel arch, it actually sort of naturally curves into the gun. I didn't quite like that. It looks good, but that's all I can say about it because it's just one color. Well, I'm gonna just transform it. Well, I don't know what to say about the transformation other than it's interesting, I guess. Well, there was a lot of twisting and turning for the front part. You had to rotate the arms a bunch of times just to get this. This thing just literally did nothing at all. You just unpack the back. Yeah, but there is really interesting. But the really interesting part is at the legs. You sort of accordion them into the front of the car, and I actually really like that aspect of the transformation. It also reminds me of RID Wheeljack, with how they also did his legs. It's quite although he had a more interesting transformation overall compared to this guy. Still, it was serviceable, it was alright. I'm okay with doing it again, and the vehicle we get is just great. I just love this car mode. The straight edges, the sharp lines, the color scheme, everything about it. If I do have to complain, a part of the roof doesn't sit flush. I tried sanding, but to no avail. Weapon storage also does exist. It's the classic undercarriage method, using this tab right here, but it doesn't really hold together that well, resulting in it dropping due to a very light touch, and that really was light. I had to push it in quite a bit, but then I can just do that. Not particularly very good. But other than that, I don't have much else to say other than it looks like a Batmobile, and that's great. So I see first edition Vehicons go for on average $45 SGD, which may sound pricey, but I think it's sort of worth it. Plus, it isn't the ludicrous prices of the other first editions, where for some reason they all go for $100+ each. Like, why? Comparing it to the Robots in Disguise version, can't say much as I don't have that. Also, you did a bit of here, they look like maybe like mandibles, you know, the ones of the insects. I just thought that was interesting. Got a weird ass grill as well. And with that, thanks for watching, and this is the final video of the year.